కారం రంగు రుచితో ఉంటుంది.
ఆచి మిరపపొడి అదరగొట్టే కారం రంగు రుచి.
వెల్కమ్ టు ఆదాన్. ఈ రోజు ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్ లో మనము ఒక యూనిక్ ప్రోడక్ట్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుందాం. ఎందుకంటే చాలా మంది కూడా ఇవాళ ఈ మోడర్న్ వరల్డ్ లో చూసుకుంటే మనం ఏం తింటున్నాము, ఎంత క్యాలరీస్ కన్జ్యూమ్ చేస్తున్నాము అని చాలా కాన్షియస్ గా అయిపోతున్నారు. సో ఇలాంటి ఒక సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం తింటున్నప్పుడు ఏంటంటే క్యాలరీస్ అన్ని కూడా మనకు ఫ్యాట్స్ లో ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ అయ్యి చాలా మంది ఒబీస్, ఓవర్ వెయిట్ కానీ ఇలా అవ్వడానికి ఛాన్సెస్ ఉంటాయి. సో అలాంటప్పుడు ఇవాళ ఎవరితో అయితే మనం పాడ్కాస్ట్ చేస్తున్నామో వాళ్ళు ఒక టాబ్లెట్ డిజైన్ చేశారు. ఆ టాబ్లెట్ అంటే ఏంటంటే 30-40% క్యాలరీస్ రిడక్షన్ అవుతుంది. అంటే మనం ఇంతకుముందు 3 చపాతీస్ తింటున్నాము, ఇప్పుడు 3 చపాతీస్ తింటున్నాము. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ మనం చూసుకుంటే మనము ఇంతకుముందు ఒకవేళ ఫుల్గా మనం కన్జ్యూమ్ చేస్తున్నాము, క్యాలరీస్ అన్నీ కూడా మన బాడీలోకి వెళ్తున్నాయి. కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఈ టాబ్లెట్ వేసుకున్న తర్వాత క్యాలరీస్ అన్నీ కూడా మన బాడీలోకి ట్రాన్స్ఫార్మ్ కావన్నమాట. సో దీనివల్ల ఏంటంటే క్యాలరీ డెఫిసిట్ వల్ల మనకు వెయిట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్కి ఒక ఇక్కడ ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుంది. దీంతో పాటు షుగర్కి కూడా ఒక టాబ్లెట్ ఉంది. సో అసలు టోటల్గా చూసుకుంటే ఈ టాబ్లెట్ ఏంటి, ఎలా ఇది తయారు చేస్తారు, అండ్ దీనివల్ల ఏదైనా సైడ్ ఎఫెక్ట్స్ ఉంటాయా ఏంటి అనేది పూర్తిగా ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్ తెలుసుకుందాము. దాంతోపాటు ఇవాళ ఎవరైతే మనతో ఉన్నారో ఆల్రెడీ ఆవిడ షార్క్ ట్యాంక్ సీజన్ 4లో రీసెంట్గానే వెళ్ళారు. వాళ్ళ షో కూడా ఆల్రెడీ ఎయిర్ అయింది. దానికి కూడా దానికి సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్స్ కూడా ఈ పాడ్కాస్ట్లో మనం డిస్కస్ చేద్దాము. సో ఈ రోజు మనతో ఉన్నారు డాక్టర్ లలిత, ఫౌండర్ ఆఫ్ మోడరేట్. Welcome to Aadhan. So today this is going to be a very special podcast. We have a guest who has recently been on Shark Tank season 4. So we will talk with her and we will know more about the product and how does this work and how it can help in the betterment of society. So today we have Dr. Lalitha with us, founder of Moderate. So hi ma'am, how are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm good.
To start with, just wanted to understand what is your educational background.
I've done my MBBS from
Okay.
JIPMA.
Okay.
After that, I did my MD Radiology from Osmania Medical College, followed by a year of senior residency at Nizam's.
Mhm.
So then I've also been the professor and head of Department of Radiology at one of the medical colleges.
Okay.
I also had a stint at administration. So for almost 10 years, I was the vice president for the Yashoda group of hospitals.
Okay.
So let's say a varied experience. And 3 years ago, I shifted completely out of the hospital setup
Mhm.
and turned entrepreneur and started this brand, Moderate.
Okay. So what was that one thing which made you to start Moderate?
See, almost seeing patients for the past 20-25 years, what we have realized is the lifestyle issues are causing a lot of health conditions for us. Previously, it used to be infections which used to kill people. But now we are doing this to ourselves because of the way we lead life. We are suffering with things like obesity, overweight, diabetes, fluctuating blood sugars, and lack of physical activity. All this is leading to a host of health related conditions
Okay.
and complications. And what is the best way to prevent it? By modifying our lifestyle. No drastic changes needed.
Mhm.
So I wanted to work towards bringing awareness to people and trying to help them in not landing up in a hospital. So
Okay.
that's how my journey started, with the keen interest and passion in preventive health.
So if we see Moderate as on today, what are the products that you offer and what is the specialty of those products?
See, the biggest problem statements we've identified were weight gain and rising blood sugars in people.
Correct.
This can be because of multiple causes: the food we eat, or the fact that we are getting less exercise, or there's too much of stress,
Mhm.
lack of sleep, and such kind of conditions. And it's not that people don't know, it's not that they don't want to lead a healthy lifestyle, it's just kind of very difficult to do unsustainable diets, right?
Mm.
Everybody is so busy, everybody is working, there's so much of activity for them to do, and very difficult for them to spend time on actually trying to cook themselves, eat healthy, or go to the gym and such kind of things. So
Correct.
we wanted to create a sustainable solution which will make it easy for people.
Mm.
It will not be too much of a digression from their useful lifestyle,
Mm.
but one change that will help them get better and reduce this effect of the kind of food that we have or the desk jobs that we do.
Mm.
So with that problem statement in mind, our first initial products were Moderate Calorie Crusher.
Okay.
Now this is a product, it's a tablet which you take along with your food. It will prevent the digestion of a certain part of the carbohydrates and sugars, right? So if you're eating say 3 chapatis or 3 parathas,
Mhm.
the calories from all the 3 will not enter into the body.
Okay.
Part of them will remain undigested and it will be passed out to the body. So it's like you're not killing yourself by dieting too much. You're not eating less than what you want to eat.
Mhm.
Neither are you indulging, of course. And still you're getting the benefit of lesser calories entering into your body. So
Okay.
this will help in weight management. Our second product was Sugar Slayer. Now, everybody, almost everybody is having abnormal sugar levels. And so many people beyond 40 are being diagnosed with diabetes, pre-diabetes, even despite not having any family history or genetic predisposition. Again, that is solely because of our food habits. Packaged food, processed food, fast food, lot of carbohydrates. All this gets converted to sugar very fast. And after we eat, blood sugar will rise and it will crash. So when it crashes, they'll feel weak, lethargic, and they don't feel that normal energy. So this was another problem we wanted to address, is blood sugar spikes. And then digestive issues is on the rise now. Most people are complaining of things like acidity, gas, bloating, IBS because of their stress. So we formulated a probiotic, which is very good for the Indian gut and the Indian food, which people can take over a period of time with no harm. And then we introduced the genetic kits. Now, see, all of us have, different genetic makeup, different mutations, based on what we inherited from our parents, as well as epigenetics because of the environment around us.
Correct.
So if we know that we have a certain mutation and I should not be doing this, it's going to harm my body. If we have this information, we can be careful.
Correct.
And definitely we can prevent the risk of getting any disease in the future. So with this ideology in mind, we have come up with our set of products.
Okay. So when we talk about Calorie Crusher, when we take like a tablet and 3 chapatis, so the 30 to 40% of the calories does not go into directly to your body, and that is how you can manage your weight. Correct.
So
that is a basic
the ingredients of moderate block an enzyme which specifically breaks down only carbs and sugars. See, the percentage is very variable. It will depend on the person. It will depend upon the diet that a person takes, along with whatever they're eating. It depends upon that. But there definitely will be a calorie deficit.
Okay.
So this is just a sustainable way for weight management. How long can you do a diet? How long can you go on keto? How long will you eat only salads? It's not a lifelong thing, right? So we should make weight management, sugar control, all these things a part of our regular lifestyle. Some exercise every day, right?
Correct.
So that similarly, if you can take a moderate Calorie Crusher or the Sugar Slayer, it will help you in your weight management and blood sugar control. And it is very easy. It's not like you have to spend a lot of time also. It is another way to assist you and support you in your health journey.
Correct. And this is made of what ingredients?
Yeah, the main ingredients are the mulberry leaf extract and apple peel extract. Along with this, we have other scientifically proven extracts.
Okay.
So the combination and the ratio in which we mix these two is what is proprietary.
Okay.
A lot of research and trials went into that. And we took the best combination which gives you the maximum efficacy with no side effects. Maximum
so
safety.
We can consider this as an Ayurvedic medicine.
Yes, it is completely herbal, plant-based and under Ayurveda. So you don't need a prescription. It's an over-the-counter tablet which you can take.
And this is a certified...
Yes, all the ingredients are completely studied and
Okay.
certified safe under Ayurveda and also under GRAS, generally regarded as safe. It's a subsegment of US FDA.
Okay.
So these ingredients are also listed under GRAS. They can be taken lifelong as a supplement and they're quite safe.
Okay. Do you have any examples of your, customers or patients who have used Calorie Crusher, Sugar Slayer, and something a genetic thing, where it has changed their lives?
Correct. We have many interesting stories because we talk to almost all our customers and we try to find out in what way the product is helping them. Right. So regarding Calorie Crusher, we had I think this is somebody from Mumbai. So someone who was very fitness conscious and health conscious, but the weight was stuck. She was not able to lose more weight.
Okay.
So, and she had a basic diet and she wanted to follow her diet. Like she had a basic, the regular diet of, eating chapatis and little bit of rice, and breakfast was like poha and, that kind of carbohydrate rich, but she didn't want to move very much away from her diet.
Okay.
So we suggested, why don't you try Calorie Crusher with your lunch and dinner and see if that's going to help you, because that's going to give you a calorie deficit.
Correct.
Anyway, she's conscious and she's doing a lot of activity. She's doing her strength training and all that. So then she tried Calorie Crusher and she was able to see the scale move in 2 weeks itself.
Okay.
It was very heartening because she's been trying so hard for such a long time and she did not want to starve. She was very conscious about that.
Okay.
right? So that was a very interesting story. Then coming to a sugar slayer, we had a gentleman from Hyderabad only. He was, I think, at 40, 45. He was already on 4 to 5 medicines for his diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and he was having enough and more side effects, but his post-meal blood sugar spikes were not being controlled.
Okay.
His fasting blood sugars was okay. HbA1c was a little on the higher side. His
Mhm.
random blood sugars were okay, but his post-meal spike was around 300.
Oh.
And he was like, I don't want to take another allopathy medicine. Please tell me what to do. So we
Okay.
told him, please start sugar slayer with your lunch and dinner.
Hmm.
And he could see immediate effect. He was wearing a CGM, so he could see the effect immediately. The same food he had without moderate, the blood sugar was very high. The same he had with moderate sugar slayer, the levels were almost 40 to 50 mg per dl lesser. So he was like, very happy, and he had absolutely no other side effects or anything. So
Okay.
he was quite happy. Genetic kits has one more interesting thing. This was one more person, I think from Delhi. So this person again is very health conscious, and he wants to lose weight. He
Hmm.
goes to the gym regularly. He does cardio. He does strength training, right? But he's not able to lose a little bit of that body fat percentage. His
Okay.
muscle is building because he's working out,
Hmm.
but body fat percentage was not decreasing,
Okay.
right? Despite being on a high protein diet,
Mhm.
which is recommended. Like you
Correct.
should have adequate number of proteins. So we told him, why don't you get a genetic test done? So we
Hmm.
did the weight management genetic test, and we saw that he had mutations in the genes which code for protein absorption, digestion, and metabolism.
Okay.
So he was taking a protein shake which had that 25 to 30 grams of protein, but he was not able to digest it. It was not entering into his body. It was just
Hmm.
passing out.
And
So
that
we-
was the reason.
That was the reason why, despite him taking a high protein diet, it wasn't just helping him and going into his body.
Correct.
So we told him not to take so much of protein at a single point of time, split it into 3 different 10, 10, 10, and take it at different times, such that the protein load on the gut is less,
Hmm.
protein load on the enzymes is less, that kind of thing. And we told him to increase his complex carbohydrates a little bit and the good unsaturated fats a little bit. So
Okay.
he made this change. It was not very difficult. In fact, he was very happy to not to be, drinking those awful tasting protein shakes.
Hmm.
So, and then he was very happy. Within 1 month, he had decrease in his body fat percentage. And over 2, 3, 4 months, he achieved the fat percentage that he wanted. He wanted it to be less than 10%. It reached that 10%. This was something he could not do,
Okay.
right? But see, his genes, he was playing against his genes. That's why
Correct.
it didn't work.
Correct.
So these genetic tests are very important. Lot of information, like, it will tell us if we eat too much of carbohydrates, we'll put on weight, or whether fats are good for us, whether cardio is good for us, or strength training is good, and what minerals we are deficient in. Now this brings me to another story.
Hmm.
There was this lady who was perpetually anemic. She was only around 8 grams hemoglobin, and she used to feel so weak and lethargic
Okay.
because anemia causes weakness and all that. So she called us up, and she was taking iron tablets.
Hmm.
Iron tablets give you a lot of nausea and stomach irritation, but still she was bearing all that and taking regular iron supplements, but hemoglobin was not increasing.
Hmm.
So we did her same weight management genetic test, and we saw that she had mutations in the genes which helped in iron absorption. So
Okay.
how much ever iron tablet she takes, it was not going to go into her body.
Hmm.
So we told her to shift to iron injections. So she started those iron injections, stopped these iron tablets, and in 1 month her hemoglobin improved significantly. And after, I think, 3 or 4 months, she was up to 12 grams, and her energy was back to normal now. She was like very happy. This simple information of the genetic mutation
Hmm.
helped her transform her life. She's
Okay.
like no more anemic, no more tired all the time. She's full of energy and enthusiasm now.
And how was your experience on Shark Tank?
Well, that was a long process. It was a little bit tedious. It was very exciting. It was a little bit scary because you're going to appear on national television, and then you only have half an hour to explain your product
Correct.
and to convince people that this is a good product and it works. You have to convince them about the efficacy, the safety. You have to talk about all the technical information, right?
Hmm.
So we did a lot of practice, and what should we tell, because it's pan India, there's so many people watching you,
Correct.
and what you say has to be accurate, has to be convincing, and people should trust you. Trust is the most important thing, especially in healthcare. When you go to a hospital or a doctor or use a product, you should trust the product that it works and it is safe.
Hmm.
Right? So that was how do we get this across to so many viewers? It was a little difficult, but I think we did an acceptable job.
When you were pitching there, in a very short period of time, how did you make sure to get an offer with such low valuations? What was going in your mind? How did you decide so quick?
So the first thing is we wanted to convince them about the product. They were anyway convinced about our credibility, and they were very much convinced about the scientific process and all the research that was there behind it.
Okay.
Coming to the valuation, of course, we asked for a certain valuation while they cut it in half. But at that point of time, the valuation and money were not very important to us. We wanted the buy-in and trust from the sharks, because they're also knowledgeable people, right? They know the value of something when they see it.
Correct.
And they know the potential, and they know that we're addressing a very humongous problem and we have a long way to go. So as they also rightly pointed out, awareness is most important. We have to tell people that, this is what the product does, this is how it is good for you. Right? So their buy-in and their trust in us was quite important for us.
Okay.
And we were very happy when we got investments from Kunal Bail and Aman. And yeah. So that was good.
Any plans for export? Do you see a market there?
Of course, we are having a lot of inquiries from a lot of other countries. Like we had some from US, UK, and countries like Indonesia, and also on the Middle East side. But you have to go through a process for that. Your product has to be first registered with their ministry, and that takes time. So we are in that process, and that will take around 6 to 8 months, and then we'll be available internationally also.
Okay. So when I was researching on Moderate, I was going through your product on Amazon, and I've seen that Huma Qureshi is your brand ambassador.
Correct.
So how was the deal? How did you crack it?
So we thought that she identifies with the brand. Like she's also not like kind of genetically blessed to have a very thin personality. She's had her issues with weight gain, and she's very conscious about her health, and she believes in what is right. She believes in what is scientific. So when we connected and she went through our products and she saw all our research and she heard us, she was very much convinced, and she tried our product, and she was very happy with that. Even now she uses our products. Right, and she wanted to be associated with us for a long term, not just like a short term brand ambassador. So we had onboarded her with equity and cash kind of a deal, so that we could work together for a longer time.
So when you expand your company, you look at customers you're acquiring, or you look at profits?
See, we don't look at profits in the first 1 to 2 years. It is practically not possible to become profitable or EBITDA positive in the first 1 to 2 years. Initially, you have to spend money on awareness, you have to spend money on marketing, and you have your customer acquisition cost, CAC, which will be quite high. It may be even higher than your product cost. But initially, you will have to do this till you get a visibility, till your brand develops, till you start getting your repeat customers.
Correct.
So once this happens, then you think of your bottom line. But profitability is not the first thing. That comes after you build a certain GMV, right? Then you start cutting back on your costs. Once you have that brand, once people are coming back to you to buy, then you don't have to spend so much, right?
Correct.
Your customer acquisition costs keep reducing, and you keep opening up different channels. Then you have more amount of revenue coming in. So once you're at that certain stage, then you start thinking about improving your bottom line or getting to profitability.
Okay. So what exciting products can customers expect in the coming future from your company?
Well, they will be for sure unique. They will be completely researched, validated, and proven beyond doubt of their efficacy.
Okay.
So we'll let you know in the future. We have a couple of more exciting products in the pipeline. Again, in the health space.
Health space. Okay. So where do you see Moderate in the next 5 years? What are your expansion plans?
See, our flagship products will be what I spoke just now, the Calorie Crusher, the Sugar Slayer, the Probiotic and our Genetic Kits. And of course, we will have additional SKUs also. So we see a minimum of at least 15 to 20% month-on-month growth. And based on the activities that we do, the new channels that we open up, and this international channels also opening up, we see a significant growth in the next 5 years.
Okay. So you have any plans to go for sales in offline market?
See, offline is something which I feel, new D2C brands shouldn't take up in the first 2 to 3 years. Because, see, we have to have a team of medical representatives, and then they have to go to the pharmacies, they have to go to the doctors, and conversion takes anywhere between 6 to 8 months, right? And then you just can't start with 1 or 2. So you'll have to spend a lot of money initially, for which you'll have a lot of working capital,
Mhm.
right? Which doesn't give you any revenue in the first 6 to 8 months. So that kind of expenditure we don't want to do presently.
Okay.
So we want to consolidate and get to a certain stage, get
Mhm.
to a certain bottom line first, and then go offline as the second stage.
Okay. So as a founder, how do you choose a team? Because team is something that you work every day, from morning to night. So how do you choose a team? How do you convince yourself that this is the right guy, this is the right person who can take, my company forward and align with my vision?
So whenever we hire, our HR team is the one which will shortlist based on the job description. So first thing, we'll have a virtual call with them. That's when you meet them and you talk to them. You will know uh, a little about that person when you see them and talk to them. And of course, education is there. Whether their skills, certifications is one thing, but what is their passion? Do they really want to work, or is it like they just want a stopgap thing before they do something else? When you talk to them, you will get all this kind of feel. And then, if you get a good feel, that this person has a good knowledge and they are hardworking, they want to grow along with you, they want to contribute,
Okay.
then we call them for an in-person interview. That's when you can judge them better. You can talk to them, you will get to know more about them.
Mhm.
And as you keep talking, they'll keep telling you. So it's not that difficult to find out if this person is a long-term bet. He's
Mhm.
going to work with us, and he's not like 9 to 5 and then lock up and go away, because that
Correct.
doesn't work for startups, right?
Correct.
Anything can happen at any time.
Okay.
So that way, if you assess people and then you show them growth also, to help them in growing in their career, they will always stay with you.
Correct. So, as I've seen on Shark Tank, you are involved in business with your family. So, how do you make sure that you don't get into any disagreements, any conflicts when it comes to making decisions regarding the next strategy, the next point, something like that? So, how do you handle it?
See, thankfully, all the three of us co-founders, our core competencies are completely different.
Mhm.
Like if it's anything product related and medical related, clinical trial related, we all sit and discuss.
Okay.
Most of the time, we have a single opinion. But if there is a discrepancy in the opinions, the
Mhm.
one who has the core competency will make the final decision.
Okay.
So anything to do with the money aspects, network, finance, investments, funding, that my brother co-founder Sriram Reddy Vanga is the one who takes the final decision.
Okay.
Anything to do with the marketing, those decisions are taken by Kartikeya Kabra. So
Mm.
this way, in
You-
case we do not agree, whoever has a total knowledge of that subject will have the final say.
Okay. I think that is a great strategy. So, okay. Now, a question for entrepreneurs who is looking to get into, an entrepreneurship, maybe healthcare, or it may be any other segment. What one advice would you give to them which can, make their startup journey easier?
Nothing easy in a startup. It is an arduous journey, and first thing, you should have a solid plan. And you
Okay.
can discuss it with subject matter experts and make sure that this is a plan which has a potential to be formed into a company and revenue generation. So
Mhm.
you'll first have to put it into paper. What is my idea? How am I going to work it out? What is my business model? What do I need? People, software, or whatever, and what are my channels in which this product will bring me money? What are all the revenue channels? And how much money do I need at what point of time? And when do I bring in more people?
Okay.
So once you're sure of this, then you look at your budgets, which are very, very, very important. How much money do I have? Am I willing to put in my own personal money? Am I going to ask my friends and family? Will I go and try to get outside money? Now, trying to get outside money is also not easy.
Correct.
So if you don't have a network, whom will you pitch to? Who will
Hmm.
trust you? They will say you're just maybe a youngster who probably hasn't had any experience, right?
Correct.
So people would hesitate to put money on you also.
Hmm.
So getting funding and getting investment is also difficult without a proof of concept.
Correct.
So initially, you should work on a smaller scale and first get your proof of concept. And with that, you can approach people.
Hmm.
And it is difficult. It is definitely not easy. The
Okay.
first 2 to 3 years till you get from 0 to 10, that's one kind of a struggle.
Mhm.
10 to 100 is another kind of a struggle. But everywhere, if you believe that your idea is good, it will work, then you shouldn't give up. You will have hardships, and there is no doubt about it. There will be times when you wake up in the night and think, what am I doing? I'm losing money. I'm not sure if I'll ever make money.
Hmm.
and you will be in a lot of stress and turmoil, right? There'll be
Correct.
people around you. Your parents are probably like, you go get a job, stop doing all this activity.
Correct.
But you have to be resilient. You have to take all this tough conditions and stay there, believe in yourself, believe in your idea. Sooner or later, doors will open.
Correct.
They have to open.
Correct. So I think it's a nice conversation. Many takeaways to take from this podcast. So thank you so much, ma'am, for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thank you.